So Mienshao has 125 attack and 105 speed, which is really good for a sweeper. 125 attack actually is really good. The speed's good. 95 special attack is also really good, but Mienshao has very terrible special coverage. But 65 health, 60 defense, and 60 special defense is not tanky at all, which doesn't really make use of its ability Regenerator, because for the most part, a lot of tanks have it and they make really good use of it. But its other abilities are Inner Focus and Reckless. Reckless is honestly only good for high jump kick. Like, the only move that Mienshao learns that gets a Reckless boost is high jump kick. But other than that, it literally doesn't have any other recoil move or any moves that doesn't have any moves, recoil moves pretty much. And high jump kick. The one thing about high jump kick is it's technically not you technically don't take recoil unless you miss. So, but technically it still counts as a recoil move. And also Inner Focus is really good for physical attackers because of the chains that now it's immune to Intimidate, which is really good. And you can't be hit with like Fake Out and things, stuff like that. But being a pure fighting type is not bad, honestly. You're weak to Flying, Psychic, and Fairy, but you resist Rock, Bug, and Dark. The problem though is honestly all three of these are common, especially Flying on Dynamax because it raises speed. Psychic and Fairy are just common. Fairy for dragons, and Psychic with the addition of like Psychic Fangs and Psychic. Psychic now has good physical and special coverage. But one of the movesets is Scarf Regenerator with High Jump Kick, Blaze Kick, Poison Jab, and Stone Edge. With your 65-60, you can survive a weaker. You can survive a hit that's not from a powerful Pokemon. Like if you're going against a tank or something, you might survive a hit, but even then, that's iffy. But pretty much the plan with this is you Choice Scarf into really, honestly, High Jump Kick 90% of the time. You also can do Blaze Kick, Poison Jab, and Stone Edge for coverage if you want. But the plan is pretty much Choice Scarf, you outspeed 125. You either one-shot or two-shot whatever comes in. And then you switch out with Regenerator and get your health back. Which could be the difference between you barely surviving a health or getting KO'd. Or barely surviving a hit or getting KO'd. So that's why I like Regenerator here. Inner Focus could have its things so you can't get intimidated. Reckless is good if you want to just bank on that high jump kick. Reckless is good so the high jump kick does extra damage. But I just like the Regenerator because you're scarfed anyway, so you're going to be forced to switch out. So I think that can also, it'd be really good to just gain that health back just in case it could help you survive a hit or not. It also can be, Regenerator could also be the difference especially can be the difference if you surviving a hit or not. If they expect to switch and you don't switch, and then you hit them, they hit you for like a resisted hit or something, and then Regenerator procs. But Mienshao's so frail that a strong neutral hit will KO it. But another thing he can do is he can do is max speed, Jolly, max attack, and Swords Dance. You want to get hit with this, you want to get one shot pretty much and drop down to 1 health with Sash. And then you want to use Acrobatics, High Jump Kick, Acrobatics, and Blaze Kick for the coverage. High Jump Kick is 130 stab. Acrobatics has 110 base power flying because your item's gone. And Blaze Kick's really good coverage. You can also run Rock in this last bout, Rock Slide or Stone Edge, whatever you want. High Jump Kick I would always pick over Close Combat unless you're worried about them switching it. Unless you're worried about them switching in something that could be a problem. High Jump Kick's better almost every situation. Like unless you're worried about them switching in a Ghost type or protecting or something, High Jump Kick is better than Close Combat every time. But in that last spot, you can also run Poison Jab for fairies. And Steel is immune to fairies where you're fighting, so you can still hit Steel at least neutral. Or you can hit like a Steel and Fairy at least neutral. I feel like there is something of that typing, but I can't think of it. Rock Slide for flying. So in case whatever you need in that last spot. I just like Blaze Kick for the coverage. Honestly, Poison Jab is better now that I think about it. Blaze Kick does slightly more damage, but Poison Jab is better because of the Fairy coverage. And the only thing Blaze Kick really gives you is flying. Like, High Jump Kick and Acrobat really cover out the Blaze Kick so you don't really need it because, okay, Grass, Acrobatics hits super effective. Steel, High Jump Kick hits super effective. So for the most part, I would run High Jump Kick. And I would run Poison Jab in that last spot. But I like having Inner Focus on this because being immune to Flinch and Intimidate is really good. Regenerator doesn't matter because you're not switching back out because you can't get Acrobatics if you switch back. Well, I don't think you can get Acrobatics if you switch back out. Plus Regenerator, it doesn't matter if you get the health back. Reckless is also an option, but again, I would not want to be... Okay, Fake Out still screws you over anyway because then at that point you can't proc the item. But mainly for the Intimidate, you don't want to get intimidated and it could really cost you. Also, you have to be really careful of this one too, especially because you're at 1 health, of them seeing you use a high jump kick or bringing in something that's 4 times weak to fighting, something like a Rhyhorn, or not a Rhyhorn, something that's 4 times weak to fighting, and then them switching to a ghost type, because you'll KO yourself with high jump kicks. So you have to be careful about that. But Dynamax Mienshao, max health, max speed. I would run Adamant because the plan is you want to come in on something that you're faster than and either force them to switch or they just get KO'd, and you Dynamax Bounce so you get the speed. Stone Edge, good power, high jump kick, stab. It sucks that fighting is going to actually lower this to like 90 base power. I like Blaze Kick in that last spot. Another option is still Poison Jab. I like Stone Edge for the flying coverage though, but Poison Jab's an option. Dig's an option because it gives you ground coverage, but other than that, I wouldn't really run anything else. I wouldn't really run any of these other moves for the most part, honestly. Unless you want to run the normal one to lower their speed, but that's not really worth it. An ability for this one, I like Inner Focus. Reckless, because the other two literally do nothing if you're Dynamaxed. You're not going to switch out if you're Dynamaxed, and you technically don't have recoil or crash damage moves when you're Dynamaxed. So Inner Focus is the only one that's good. Plus, you're immune to Intimidate, which is good. And you can't be hit with like a fake. I don't know if Dynamax Pokemon can be flinched, but not being intimidated and being physical is really good. But pretty much, this is an Endure Lychee Berry Mienshao with Reversal, which has 250 base power for your at 1 health. So pretty much what you want to do is come in on something that you know can one-shot you. Come in. I wouldn't run Blaze Kick. I run Poison Jab here too. But you come in like on a Fairy type or something, Endure. You get dropped down to 1 health. Get a Lychee. Maybe not a Fairy, but something that's weak to something that can hit you super effective pretty much. Come in, Endure. Take a hit. Then you get the Lychee Berry +1 Reversal, and then you just one-shot everything. At this point, you one-shot everything with Reversal, Poison Jab, and Acrobatics, which will have 110 base power. You'd also run Knockoff in this, but you run the risk of like a Fairy and something that resists flying, walling you out pretty much. But Inner Focus, so you can't get fake. Well, Fake Out will still take you out because it has priority. But the other two literally are useless. You have no crash. You're not using high jump kick, so Reckless useless. Regenerator, you're not gonna switch out. So, because then you won't be able to get the Lychee Berry back. But that's the plan. 1 HP in Reversal, 250, Acrobatics 110, and Poison Jab for Fairies. And some of the other moves he learns are Fake Out. If you want to run that Fake Out, it's actually really good, especially if they're Sash or something like that, because Fake Out has such high priority that Fake Out will take out pretty much. I think Fake Out pretty much one-shots everything priority-wise, because I think it does higher than Extreme Speed and everything. It's like one of the highest priority moves under like Protect. Hone Claws is an option if you want to have like 100% accuracy on Blaze Kick and High Jump Kick and stuff. But I like the +2 of the Sword Dance more. Again, Rock Slide if you don't want to play the accuracy game of Stone Edge. It actually does not learn Dual Chop anymore. Ignore that. The other move was Knockoff. Knockoff is actually a really good move. The only problem with Knockoff though is it's really good coverage for Psychic. You can run like in that last move though, in that last spot between like Poison Jab or pretty much between Poison Jab or Blaze Kick, you can always run Knockoff for the Fairy coverage. But the problem is you run into the issue of Fairies, because Fairy resists both Dark and Fighting. So if they're Fairy and like something that resists flying, you're in trouble. Like if they're Fairy Rock or whatever, something that resists flying, you run into a wall. But like I said, it has 95 special attack, which looks good on paper, but then you look at its special moves and it's like, okay, this is what it learned specially. Aura Sphere, Focus Blast, Grass Knot. Both of those are fighting too. And then 4 normal moves. 3 of them are unusable pretty much. And Hyper Beam. Like it has no special coverage at all, which sucks because it has a decent special attack, but it can't be used. But some of the other moves it learns though that are options: Quick Guard in doubles, Quick Guard and Wide Guard actually in doubles. Quick Guard makes it so you're protected from priority. Wide Guard makes it so you're protected from dual hitting moves like Earthquake, Rock Slide. So you can get some use out of those. But Drain Punch, I wouldn't really run Drain Punch because you're not bulky enough anyway. Again, it learns Calm Mind, but it has no way to make use of it because its special defense is so low and it doesn't have any special moves. Some of the other, it learns Reflect too. that's the thing. Facade's an option if you're worried about getting burned or something like that. Payback, you're too fast for Payback. Assurance and doubles, maybe. I would rather run the Knockoff at that point. Retaliate's always Retaliate's an option. You come in and just immediately retaliate and try to one-shot them. Taunt. You're actually fast enough for a taunt or baton pass. You could taunt or baton pass. You're fast enough for a taunt, baton pass, the swords dance or something off. You can bulk up, but it's not bulky enough to make use of it. Now I would use Hone Claws over bulk up at that point. Or a sphere, it learns naturally, but it's another option. Work up is a move, but it doesn't learn. Its special attack. There's no point of raising a special attack. But it also learns coaching, which is a move. Also, Vital Throw always crits too, if I remember right. I think this one always crits, which makes it a. Does it not always crit? Huh? Never mind. It's just. Oh, it never misses. Okay, never mind. Ignore that move. The move's not good then. It never. I'm thinking of something else. I'm thinking of Circle Throw, where it always crits. Vital Throw just never misses, but it always goes last because it has negative priority. It also learns coaching, but it's not the type of Pokemon to use coaching. But that's how to use Mienshao in Pokemon Sword and Shield.